The Secrets of Technology is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit sqpn.com/give. Hi, I'm Dom Bettinelli, and you're listening to The Secrets of Technology, where we discuss the technology news that's important to you from a uniquely Catholic point of view. Joining me today on the panel are Father Joseph Sund. Hey, Father.
Good to be with you.
And Tom Grellinger. Hey, Tom.
Hello, Dom.
Did I get it right this time?
Yes, you did get it right this time.
All right. Tom didn't tell me until after last week, or last time he was on, that I was saying his name wrong. I felt so bad. And
no
trust me, I know. My name, nobody says it right. Sometimes I don't even say it right, so don't worry about it. So I know how you feel. So, well, let's get into today's topic right away, because we got a lot to go through. We're discussing Catholic prayer apps. Now, there's a lot of apps out there. Ever since there were apps available for smartphones, Catholics have been at the forefront, sort of like with that Gutenberg Bible, at the forefront of getting the prayer, the scriptures out there, seeing the possibility of using these new technologies to help us pray. And there have been many apps and they've come and gone, and we've talked about a few different kinds of apps out there, Catholic lifestyle apps, and we've talked about apps that help us with different sacraments, but this one's is really apps that help us to pray. And I want to start sort of with a more general approach of, do you use apps to help you pray ever? Obviously, probably not exclusively, I would assume, but do you use any apps that help you with your prayer life, Father?
I almost exclusively pray the Liturgy of the Hours from my phone. It's the convenience of it, the fact that I'm going between everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, I don't use my books too much anymore, and I almost exclusively do it from my phone.
Okay. How about you, Tom? Do you ever use any of these?
I've used some of them. I think a lot of times there's one that I use that just comes. They have an app, but it comes out in podcast form. So that's usually how I've done it. And that was the case with one of the apps we are going to discuss with the Liturgy of the Hours. Was I first found out about it through podcast form.
Okay. So I use a couple of the apps we're going to talk about, but I also use an app that's unfortunately no longer available in the App Store, and I really like it. It's a rosary app that I really enjoy because it's a scriptural rosary app, and there is at least one of the apps that we're going to talk about. It's also a scriptural rosary app again, but I kind of like this particular one. I've used it for so long, and I'm kind of sad that it's not in the App Store anymore. I'm not sure why. But it's really nice, and I mean it's so old that it still has the skeuomorphic design. So it looks like paper and like a book. So it's showing its age a little bit. It's one of these days it's not going to launch, and I'm going to be sad. So I do use it, and then I use the iBreviary app, praying every night with my family. We with the kids, we all pray the night prayer together. But I also use it at church for the readings and that sort of stuff. So those two really, but I also have a couple of the other ones that I dip in and out of for various things. So some people will say it's not good to rely on a phone. Like we need to. Like the problem with using your phone is, well, for one thing, notifications and interruptions. When you're staring at your phone and a notification pops up and interrupts you, takes you out of your prayer. And sometimes some people will just say a phone is it's not a single purpose device. You use it for all kinds of things. Some of us, unfortunately take it into the restroom and read on it while we're doing what needs to be done. And then we're praying on it. And it's like, oh, that's just, you should have a dedicated, book for prayer. What do y'all think of that objection to using your phone to help you pray?
I think when it comes to like the Roman Missal that I use during Mass, yes, I should be saying mass out of something that's not my phone. But when it comes to my daily prayer, it should be integrated such into my life that, that I'm using ordinary stuff to do it kind of is incarnational.
Right.
But I do agree with it. Right. I'm celebrating mass unless it's really in a pinch, which means I didn't plan well. Right. I should be using and do use the dedicated books to that.
Right.
Sometimes for the mass readings, I have to, nursing home masses or something that someone did. We didn't bring the vein, sometimes in a pinch, but generally I would agree with that when it comes to the liturgy itself.
Yeah. I know that when we were on pilgrimage this past summer in Italy, there was a couple occasions, very often we had to have the readings for the mass out of people's phones. That was just because there was no English language lectionary. And there was a couple of times, I think, where Father Chip had to use his either iPad or phone for the sacramentary because there was no English language sacramentary available at whatever church or chapel we were in. So
yeah, that's the exception, not the rule.
Exactly. What do you think, Tom?
Well, I was going to say that you mentioned the notifications, and that can be disturbing. And I believe both Google with Android and Apple with iOS and iPadOS you can suppress those if you need to. And I think that's probably one of my concerns. And so I know last Lent, I loaded St. Alphonsus de Liguori on my Kindle e-reader and found that a little more useful. And I know that during the pandemic, our church actually, I believe, had ways to pull in that kind of content, like the mass content for everyone. I think it was we were returned back to the churches being open, but they didn't want to have the missals or the GIA books, hymnals in the pews. Right. Yeah, because they were spraying down the pews after every mass. Yeah. Like I think a lot of churches did. Yep. I guess my philosophy on this is that if it means you're praying, then that's a good thing. If you don't pray, I mean, if this is how you can pray, then this is better than not praying at all. Exactly. Yeah.
That would, I would echo that if it's an aid to prayer, fantastic.
Know yourself. Right. Know yourself.
And I think for the laity who are not required to do the liturgy of the hours, I will say I learned initially when I was in college, and obviously we didn't have smartphones or iPads or tablets back then. And so I was having to kind of learn out of the books, and it can be confusing because you got ribbons and you're jumping back and forth.
Yep.
I mean, when I saw Library for the first time, and it was like
revelation.
Oh, this is wonderful! I don't have to flip around.
Yep.
Or the Divine Office app, but which I've used both of.
There's also some errors in the breviary on dating and things that haven't been corrected in 50 years that the online version corrects. So it is good news that there will be a new translation coming out, but we don't have a lot of news on what that looks like or sounds like yet.
We'll get into some of that as we get into the different apps, but the specifics of that. The one thing I wanted to mention before we do that is it's sort of a general thing, a suggestion or a tip, at least for those of you who are on iOS, is I've set up a focus mode on my phone and my all my devices, because that's how focus modes work, called prayer. And it turns off all notifications and, blocks things from happening, silent mode, all that sort of stuff. And I have it set up in shortcuts on my phone so that whenever one of the prayer apps launches, it turns on that focus mode. And then when I go out of the prayer app, it turns off that focus mode so that I don't have stuff distracting me automatically. I don't have to remember to do it either. So that's really nice.
Just pulled this up. If you want to learn more about that, yourself, I and Victor on episode 184, we covered that.
Excellent. Very good. Yes, that's right. I did mention that before. So if you want to see how I did that or hear how I did that in more detail, You can check back in episode 184. So let's talk about some of the apps we're going to be talking about tonight. They come in certain categories. So there are going to be some breviary or liturgy of the hours or divine office apps. Those are all the same thing, different names, but basically the same thing. I know there's technical differences in there, but just for the layperson,
we're not confusing at all as Catholics.
No. Let's have three names for the same thing. Then there's some rosary and devotion apps. Some guided meditation apps, some daily reflection apps, novenas. There are also magazine and devotional companions like Magnificat, just to give you a preview. And then ones that are just like all in one. There's like a little of everything go in there. And I want to preface this by saying the ones we're going to talk about, this is by no means a complete exhaustive list. There's no way we could have enough time to go through every Catholic app in all the app stores. There's so many out there. We have an embarrassment of riches. And so we're just going to highlight some of the ones that we know and some of the better ones that are out there. So let's get into it with all the preliminaries aside. Let's start with the big kahuna of Catholic apps right now. The number one Catholic app on all the app stores, Hallow. You've undoubtedly heard their name. They advertise everywhere. They're a big tech company now. They have celebrity endorsements and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot in there. And Jimmy Akin's even in there. If folks don't know, he's got some content in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. Guided prayer and meditations. There's Lectio, Rosary, Examine, like examination of conscience. Stuff to help you sleep, fall asleep to certain stories. There's a lot of audio. That's it. And that's one of the pros of it. There's a huge audio catalog, lots of audio content. So if that's what you're looking for, that sort of thing is going to be good. It also is strong in helping you develop a habit of prayer. And it's really a general purpose tool for folks. The way I look at it as it's it's really good. It's good for everyone, but it's really good for people who don't already have a strong prayer habit or prayer life or don't know what that would look like. It's a way to dip into prayer as a way of life, as a part of your life. Does that sound on target for you guys?
Yeah, my parishes that I'm at, we chose in the last year that we did a subscription model kind of. We had a very generous donor come through and purchase it. That we did it at each of our parishioners, I think, was able to get the full year for $1 a year or something in partnership with the parish. In the engagement level, one of the new things they've added to it recently is kind of a social prayer sharing area. And the engagement in that we've seen is amazing.
Right.
And I've, without revealing too much on this, I can say that I've had people in the sacraments tell me how their prayer life has grown, and in spiritual direction tell me how their prayer life has grown. I've seen firsthand the effect this has had on prayer lives of ordinary, busy people.
That's awesome.
I'm in a very rural community. I've had farmers tell me about how they're in their combine praying. And it's just some really cool stories. And so this one just tugs at my heartstrings a little bit because it's affecting my parishioners, and I've seen the fruit of it.
So the one of the cons of this one, we're going to go through pros and cons.
I thought you were just being a Debbie Downer.
Yeah, no, when I say pros and cons, I don't mean it's bad. I mean, all of these apps are good, but they're good for different people for different reasons, and they may not be good for some people for other reasons. So this may not be the app for you because of something that may be listed as a con. I couldn't come up with other words for it, but it's not that it's bad. It's just something to consider. And the something to consider with Hallow is most of the value, there's a free tier, but most of the value of it is behind a paywall. And if you can get someone, I love the idea of someone with some means sponsoring this through a parish so that everyone in the parish can get it for a year. I love that idea. But absent that, it does cost the premium tier $70 a year or $11 a month. It's a little pricey. It can be a little pricey. That's not for some people can afford that. But and again, what are you spending your money on? How many streaming services are you spending your money on? If this helps you pray, maybe take a break from Netflix for a couple months or something.
Yeah, or if you don't go out to eat during Lent and save your out to eat bills. I mean, that, let's be honest, that's probably with your spouse once
for a whole $70
is one meal.
Probably more than you're probably paying more than that these days for one meal.
So that can go in and help you and your spouse together grow in prayer. And so, or if you're single, you alone, right? But I can't recommend it enough. So the price,
give it a try. Try the free tier, and then maybe try a month. And then if you find it has helped you create a habit of prayer, then make that investment. $70 for a year versus $11 for a month is actually a really good deal. The other con that might, for some people, they might feel it's too busy if you're looking for something like bit more basic prayer. There's a lot going on in the app. And so,
I was noticing I'd scroll. I hadn't been in the app in a little bit, and it was like, oh, scroll. Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh, wow, that's cool. And I just kept going. Oh, wow, there's Bishop Barron. There's Jonathan Rumi. There's all these others. Like you said, it's full of celebrities. Mark Wahlberg. And it's a very full app. And for those who can take advantage of it, I think $70 is a very reasonable price for a year.
So that's Hallow. Moving on from there, there's go to just, this is sort of at random, but the order. But the next one I'm going to go to is iBreviary, because I know more people who use iBreviary and especially, as Father, you mentioned, a lot of priests and religious. So iBreviary is the full Liturgy of the Hours and daily Mass Missal in multiple languages, and it has all the official texts. At least the English ones are official. I assume the others are as well. It's in a couple different languages. It has all the feast days. It downloads automatically for you the days if you want. You can download them in advance. You can download like a whole week at a time if you want. If you're going to be out of range of your home Wi-Fi or something. It is free, absolutely free. It's done by they do ask for donations. It's done by the Franciscans in the Holy Land. So any donations go toward supporting the mission of the Franciscans in the Holy Land. If there's, and it's free, like I mentioned, free. If there's a con against it, it's that the UI does feel a little dated. It looks like the background looks like the Vatican website circa 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been around since when I started seminary, and I was still using a Motorola Razor. In a pinch, I could use iBreviary on my Motorola Razor, and the site has not changed since then.
Right.
So that kind of gives you a clue of, but it also gives you a clue of the longevity of the app. Like, it's not going anywhere.
Right. That's true. Because so many priests do rely on it. I know that. And priests and I say priests, but priests and religious and lay people, a lot of lay people. So like I said, I use it every day. We use it at Mass. I like it to use it at Mass instead of the Missalette because I can make the text larger. I don't have to keep flipping through the stupid Missalette trying to find where the page is, where the prayers are, the readings. It's right there on the page. And it's got all the hours, that from the readings, I always think of the Latin names, but the evening prayer, night prayer, morning prayer, midday prayer, all of it's in there. So it's really, that part is really good.
As a priest, for our priest listeners, there's a hidden little section in the prayers that you can get the rites and everything. So in a pinch, if I end up at a hospital and I forgot my pastoral care for the sick, I can get the prayers for last rites and everything on that app. And so I keep it handy. I would rather be, someone's dying. I'd rather not have an iPhone out. But in a pinch, I've used it before, and it's really handy in there. So it's kind of a kitchen sink.
If you get stuck, it has the order of celebrating matrimony without a mass. I mean, like, in an emergency marriage situation. Just kidding. Another one of the cons, besides the UI feeling a little dated, is that there's not a lot of extras. There's no guides or lessons or meditations for to help, which it doesn't necessarily need. I mean, I'm just saying that's not something you're going to get from this particular app. Other apps have that sort of thing. So, but its big benefit is it's current and it's free. Now we alluded to earlier that the text of the Liturgy of the Hours for the U.S. is changing. The bishops have sponsored a new translation over the course of an interminable number of years. They've been doing this new translation for more than a decade, and they're finally done. They finally have approvals. They're finally about to start printing the books, and the official date for the launch of this is going to be Ash Wednesday 2026, which means that's the official date when it's okay for those who are required by canonical law to pray the divine office can start praying the new translations. The rest of us can do whatever we want because it's not required of us. And there'll be of course, a grace period for, as people get their hands on it. The reason I bring that up is I don't know what the plan is for apps like iBreviary to incorporate the new translations into the app. So I haven't seen anything from them on it. So we'll just have to wait to see what they say, what happens when the time comes.
Dom, I want to put a correction in here. The article I'm looking at right now, it's on Detroit Catholic's website, just on a quick Google, says that it's that the official date to it is going to be Ash Wednesday 2027.
Oh, 27.
Yes. So that makes a little more sense. I was sitting there going, we're moving really fast for the Catholic Church here.
Maybe that date then is going to be when you have to be starting using the new translation, as opposed to it's going to be available starting before that.
Yeah, they're going to release it in 3 volumes, right? The Liturgy of the Hours is in 3 volumes. So it's going to be tiered, that it's slowly going to be released year by year. And so there's 4 volumes, excuse me.
Yeah, I was like, are they consolidating from 4?
No, 4 volumes.
Yeah. The 4th book is the special seasons. All right, thank you for that correction. That's an important one. But regardless, at some point they're going to have to incorporate the new translation into the various apps that include it. So that's iBreviary. Then there's another app that I've had forever, and I think this comes out of, and I'm not sure, but I feel like it comes out of the old, remember the little blue Pietas books? Catholics who've been getting devotional books may have seen these for decades. I remember these 30, 40 years ago, but they're these little books full of every prayer, every intercessory prayer for a saint, the 15 promises of the rosary, all that sort of stuff was in this one little book. Well, that's what Laudate is like. It's sort of a kitchen sink Catholic utility. It's got readings for the Mass. It's got prayers. It's got the rosary. It's got Liturgy of the Hours. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's got several different kinds of examination of conscience it's got all the prayers that you need for the various sacraments, like as a layperson. It's got, like I said, the kitchen sink.
It's the Pieta prayer book you were thinking of, those little blue ones.
Yeah,
I remember as a Catholic that came back to faith in my college age, that was something that really aided me to develop a devotional life. And it was just this little blue book. I still have it, and it's wrinkled and damaged beyond belief, but it was something that was great. And so the fact that something could be on a cell phone that could encourage those same things, and I like the comparison. I hadn't really made that connection of comparing those two, but I think you're spot on.
And it has like if it does the stuff it doesn't have in the app itself, it has also links to a lot of great resources. So like there's a Catholic media section where it has links to all kinds of Catholic, like Catholic Answers Live, Truth and Life Catholic Bible app, Catholic Bible commentary, and the Catholic Encyclopedia. So all kinds of different organizations and stuff. And, you know, it has a link to Vatican documents, a link to the New American Bible Revised Edition, but also to the Douay Rheims Bible, if that's what you like. I like it because it has not only just regular prayers, like the English prayers, but it also has Latin prayers, because I sometimes like to, you know the Latin prayers, and those are in there as well. So it's got like literally everything. If you want to say a rosary, you want to say a chaplet, it's got all kinds of different chaplets and rosaries, not just one. It's got several dozen, and that's the style of this kind of app. And previously, the Pieta prayer book was just everything. Just like if we can fit it in, we're gonna fit it in. It just everything goes in. It's in there, like the old TV commercial. I forget what that was for. But never mind. But anyway, so the Laudate. So it's ton of content, entirely free. The con, if you will, is the UI, the user interface is kind of a little bit cluttered, and it's not the best design, for getting around in. And then a lot of the resources are not in the app itself, so that some people may be like, oh, it has to link out to and load a web page. So it loads a web page to get to some of the resources. So, take that for what you will. But I like the fact that it links to them, at least. It's one place to go to find it. So, and that's Laudate. And again, so far, all of these are available Android and iOS. And I think all of the ones we're going to talk about are available in both. So I just wanted to make that point here. So the next one is also returning to a Liturgy of the Hours and Mass Readings app called Universalis. Now, this one is a little different from iBreviary in that this one comes out of the UK. And so the translation is a little different from what we have in America. Even though they're both in English, they use a different translation of the Liturgy of the Hours. And so
I might say right now they use a better translation, but it's not the approved translation for the United States. So
yes. Yep.
There's that.
Yes. Now, it's free on the website if you go to the website and use it. The app, there's a one-time app purchase, which is about $10, £10. It's not the same equal, but they have the same number amount with it wherever you're from. And then there's also like a low cost monthly option, and so on and so forth. So I'm not sure what the add-ons are, honestly.
The add-ons have to do with audio, especially for the Liturgy of the Hours. And I had a parishioner once who she was going blind, and she wanted to do the add-on for that. And I had a wonderful podcast to recommend to her to not have to pay out for the add-on, and just some shameless self-promotion there.
Yes, PlayStation Portable is free and will always be free. We're not including PlayStation Portable in this list because it's not an app, but we encourage you, if you want to get access to the Liturgy of the Hours for free, that the PlayStation Portable is and will always remain free thanks to the donations of our supporters.
The Universalis app, there's also a PC and Mac version, and so many years ago I paid for this. And so I still benefit from it. And the great thing is that when you pay for the Mac and PC version, it includes the phone versions as well.
Right.
And so it just gives you a little code that you put in. And so I've had that for years and years. One of the great benefits of it is there's commentary that goes along with the mass readings. So especially for me as a priest if I'm needing to prep a homily for a daily mass in a pinch. To be able to have some good commentary in front of me is really helpful.
And it's all offline, right? It downloads the whole thing, right? It doesn't have to download over time.
I'm not sure about that on the cell phone version. I do know on the PC version. And also the PC version, if you still use one of these, you can export it to a MOBI or EPUB file as well for your e-reader.
Right. Or even print a PDF. Like if you want to take it to the, if you want to have a compromise between sacramentary and screen, you could print it on paper and take that to the altar. So that's a possibility. So it comes with a bunch of extras that say iBreviary doesn't have like that. But it does cost money, and some of the, as you can tell from my bumbling around, the in-app purchases can be a little confusing. Exactly what you're getting and why you would get it. But
and if you're praying it with other people, especially if you're praying in a liturgical setting in a parish, your translation is going to be wrong. That's right.
It won't. Yes, because it won't be the same as the official American translation.
So I'd say great for private devotion. Probably not good for a priest to use it because it's not the approved translation.
Right.
But something that I would recommend for good private devotion is a good solid app.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So this next one is one that I'm very familiar with, the Divine Office app. That's what it's called. Now, this has an interesting history. It used to be free, and for anyone who got the app when it was free can continue to use it for free. But they were dinged by the USCCB, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, for not paying for the copyright for the translation of Liturgy of the Hours. And so they now have to pay for that, which means they ask for people to pay to download the app and use it. So it is the website. You can use the website for free, but the app is a paid download, and the price varies from store to store.
I forget that this is a paid app because, again, I think I bought it like 12 years ago, and it's still in my app store.
Right. This is an audio app. So this isn't just reading it on the screen. You're hearing it prayed in the app.
Right.
So it's kind of like a podcast.
And they see it's often on the higher feasts. It will be chanted. I'm going to say my one downside of it is that if you don't like devotional voices, it's not going to be it's not going to be your cup of tea.
To spell it out a little bit, sometimes they're overly dramatic in their reading.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, dial it back to Donna. Like, you're not on Broadway now. Like, dial it back. I mean, God bless them. They're doing God's work. But
that's my one complaint. It's only occasionally, and it's nice sometimes to have it chanted and done well.
That is nice. Yeah.
And I mean, I appreciate that they actually do sing the hymns.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're wanting it to be, I hate to say this, over and done with, it's probably not the best one because it's like you get into the office of readings for a significant day where especially the second non-scriptural reading is really long, or you're in Lent and they're doing huge chunks of Exodus. In the office of readings, it's 25 minutes.
Yeah.
For just that.
I'll tell you, one of the things that we did in my household is my wife had this, and she would play it during the day as she was going, when the kids were little, as she was going about her day doing the various things around the house, and it would be playing out loud, and it really got our kids to be familiar with the Liturgy of the Hours. It's a great way to do that. I mean, you could do that with PlayStation Portable or any other of the audio. There's a couple of different audio versions of the Liturgy of the Hours out there, but you could do that with any of them. But it is a really nice way to, like, if you are homeschooling or you have little kids around, to get them familiar with hearing this sort of prayer aloud. In fact, I mean, my 3, 4, 5-year-olds would say the responses along with it. They got to know the responses to the Liturgy of the Hours. So I think that's pretty darn cool. When my kids go to summer camp, they pray the Liturgy of the Hours with each other, there. each night. They pray the night prayer together because they know it. This is their prayer. So it was because of apps like Divine Office. You get to know the various readers, voices. You become familiar with them. It changes. There's different people doing it over time. So that's nice. It feels like you have a connection with them. One of the cons is, again, there's a paywall for anyone who's starting new. And there is not much beyond in the app beyond the Liturgy of the Hours. So there's that. So that's the Divine Office. Then there's a couple more. I want to kind of move a little more quickly through the rest of these because there's a lot here and time is passing. The Augustine Institute, which is a great organization that does sort of like higher education for Catholics, it's not a formal like university degree program, but they create a lot of catechetical content for people.
This is a place that if you've ever used form.org, this is the
they're the form
place that puts that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have an app called Amen, which is free. There's no paywall. The content is very orthodox. The UI is very nice. It's a lot of guided prayer and meditations, scripture audio being read. It's sort of like a free version of Hallow in some ways.
Hallow Light, maybe.
Yeah. It's got a smaller catalog. There's not as much in it. And there's not a much. Hallow has a lot of like prayer habit building stuff in it. This doesn't really have a lot of that in there. But it's free and it's solid content. Then the next one, there are no cons. I'm just kidding. This one comes from the Pope, called Click to Pray. And this started under Pope Francis, and Pope Leo is continuing it. And it's the Pope's worldwide prayer network intentions. So it's the Pope, if you don't know, issues prayer intentions on a regular basis. There's like a monthly, and then it's broken down into like daily prayer intentions or weekly. I forget exactly how it works, but I know there's at least a monthly theme that he puts out. And so this app is designed to spread those intentions and get people praying for the Pope's intentions. And it's a kind of a communal effort. So there's a sense of the universal church in it, which is nice.
Yeah. But in the spirit of them actually updating the Vatican website, I haven't looked at this app in a while, and it's been updated. The UI's been updated, all of those things. So it's on the cutting edge of technology 4 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So right. which is really good for the church.
So like there's some prayer for the morning to start your day. There's the monthly prayer, which is the prayer intention. There's an afternoon prayer. There's an evening prayer. It's not Liturgy of the Hours prayer, but like there's a prayer experience that they intend for you to have during these times. I mean, it's free, and there's not much beyond that. There's no, it's not, there's not other devotions in it. It's pretty straightforward. This is exactly what it is, and nothing else. But it's a nice prayer experience. There's another app called Pray As You Go, which is this. I think this comes from the Jesuits in the UK, and they put this one out, and it's a daily 10 to 15 minute Ignatian audio prayer. Now, if you know what the Ignatian prayer is, you already know what that is. What's it? Father, do you have a good short explanation of what Ignatian prayer is?
I would say that as I read the scripture, that I put myself into that situation of the scripture in an imaginative way, and I really allow myself to be placed in that surrounding, and so it has to do a lot with the use of my imagination. Okay. That's going to be my real quick. But we could do an entire podcast on a nation prayer. So that is, if there's Jesuits listening, they're probably like really mad at me for that explanation, but that's going to be the quick one.
They're welcome to come on and spend an hour talking about nation prayer. It is free, and it's a beautiful app. It's simple. It has music-backed reflections to guide you through it. One of the people were saying that it's perfect for your commute when you're in your car or on the train to listen to as you go to work.
I would add with Ignatian prayer that for if you have children, this is probably one of the best ways to pray with children, because if you know children, their imaginations are rich. And so you might, I don't know how friendly this one is to kids, but it might get you in a good attitude to be able to pray with your children.
Right.
And so that would be just encouragement there for families.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. But it's not a full app suite. It doesn't have other things in it. It's free, so it's not like you're losing money on wasting money or anything like that. But just know what you're getting. This is just this Ignatian prayer experience. Then there's Magnificat. People are very familiar with Magnificat, the magazine, the monthly magazine, little booklet, sort of like the Catholic Reader's Digest. So sometimes I know there's a Catholic Digest, but there's something else. But it's just this daily mass companion. It's got morning prayer, it's got evening prayer, it's got meditations, it's got essays and various spiritual reflections in it. There's high quality, lots of high editorial quality. So you can also get it as an app now, as all things are these days. And the digital only version is either $20 a year or $15 for 6 months. So you get it, it's a subscription.
That's kind of a no-brainer there.
Yeah. Why you would only go for the 6 months, but maybe you're just trying it out. But spend the extra $5 and get the whole year and try it for the whole year. So it's sort of like a breviary light for lay people. This wouldn't be appropriate for religious or priests who are required to pray the whole breviary. But it's sort of a light version of the morning and evening prayers that you have in the regular breviary.
The biggest attraction to the Magnificat would be the daily mass readings and the reflections around the daily mass readings.
And those are really good.
But the target audience of the Magnificat, I don't usually see using cell phones during Mass. And so I think it hasn't become as popular of an app because of that. And their subscription base is strong. I mean, so they're not going anywhere on that one currently.
Right. Yeah, it's Magnificat is great. And if you have little kids, by the way, this isn't the digital, it's a paper version, but Magnificat is a great subscription for your kids to bring to Mass, to get them engaged with what's going on in the Mass.
Yes.
Definitely. Our parish did it once, one of our parishes. And then when we moved, we got a subscription for our own kids just to have. It was really great. All right. Then moving on, the Ascension app. If you like Father Mike Schmitz, this is your place. Get the Bible in a year, Catechism in a year. Let's get Rosary with Father Mike.
Liturgy of the Hours in the year. Wait, no.
And it's all of their podcasts are in it. And which include people beyond Father Mike. We love Father Mike.
Oh, disclaimer, I guess Liturgy of the Hours is not in that app, so don't go to the app thinking you're going to get the Liturgy of the Hours.
Right. We're joking on that. So there is plenty of content in the free tier, but there is a premium tier for $60 a year or $9 a month. So the free stuff includes the whole catechism, the whole Bible. There's like various studies, Bible studies and things, and like different rosaries that you can pray. But it doesn't have Liturgy of the Hours yet. Ascension is one of the official publishers of the printed Liturgy of the Hours, so I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up there at some point. And of course there's these premium features behind a paywall, which the nature of things.
The mention of the Ascension and Word on Fire doing the printed versions of the Liturgy of the Hours. So this is kind of a sidebar. I'm really excited about that because of this is getting a little nerdy, but the binding quality of both of these
both the publishers
is fantastic,
Yeah.
Which gets me really excited. I love books that have good binding that stay together. So I'm excited about that.
Books that are going to have to last for a long time.
Yeah.
Like these, and get a lot of use. The next one, we only got a couple more. The next one is called Intercede. It used to be called Pray Catholic Novenas. Now it's called Intercede, but the old name gives it away. It's a novena app. So it's got all kinds of novenas. Like if there's a novena out there, it's in this app. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I was scrolling through it, and I'm like, oh, I'm very, very familiar with the saints of Hawaii, specifically St. Damien and St. Mary Ann Cope. And sure enough, sometime in January, in the middle of January, there's the St. Mary Ann Cope novena that starts up on January 14th and runs to her feast day on the 23rd.
And that's the nice thing is when you open it up, it'll say what novena begins today, because a novena goes 9 days to the feast day of the saint. So it starts the 9 days before. So it tells you today, as we record this, November 12th, you would start. You could do the presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary novena, or tomorrow you could do the Saint Cecilia novena. On the 14th, you could do the Christ the King novena, which is actually really cool. I like that idea. So it guides you through novenas you could pray. It lets you kind of explore different novenas, and then it has reminders for starting. Like you get a notification to start your novena, or a reminder to pray. Did you pray your novena today? That sort of thing. Because there's nothing gets you so much as getting 7 days into a novena and then forgetting to pray. Like, oh, I messed it up. God honors it, but yeah.
This one reminds me, this isn't an app, but it's a website, and it's an email that you can receive called Pray More Novenas.
Right.
That's if you, for me, I have to check email every day. I don't like it, but I have to, right?
Sure.
And so if the novena ends up in my mailbox, I end up praying it along with my email, which is a good way to incorporate. I remember this when it was Pray Catholic Novenas, way back when I was a blogger still and had my priest blog that was the techie priest. It's now defunct and didn't re-register it, but this guy, the person who did this, reached out, and I remember doing a review on this way back when, and it was a good app then. Yeah. So haven't used it in a while, but I'm sure it's still good. It
looks great. I love the UI is nice. So it's a free download. There is some optional in-app purchases. You can do a family patron, which is $45 a year, up to I think 5 family members. That's not very Catholic friendly. It should be a lot more family members. I have 5 kids. Like, come on, that's a normal Catholic family. Or as an individual, you could do $30 a year, and that gets you some extras. I'm not sure exactly what all the extras are, but there are some extras. But you can get like daily reminders. You can invite a friend to pray with you for the same intention. You can, that sort of thing. So, and find other novenas. So, there's some group communal features too, like praying with other people, and it keeps track of your prayers. Like you've prayed these novenas over time, and so it's kind of nice little bit there. So, it's again nice looking app too. Nice to use. It's good to see some good graphic design in some of these Catholic apps. And then finally, this one is a little close to home because it's Rosary Army's app. Rosary Army is Greg and Jennifer Willits. They are the two of the co-founders of StarQuest, in fact, and they also, full disclosure, Rosary Army is the sponsor of Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World. So that's so folks are. That doesn't affect the fact that I love Greg and Jennifer, and I love what they're doing with this app. It's a straightforward app. There's a one-time purchase. It's $4. It's some excellent audio recordings. So it's an audio rosary. You follow along with Greg and Jennifer praying through it, and there's a couple different kinds of rosary in it, including scriptural reflections with the rosary as you go. And so it's primarily audio. So there is some artwork, which Greg did himself. Greg is also a visual artist, and so there's not a lot of bells and whistles. It's not like the bead tracking, like some rosary apps let you mark each bead as you pray it in the app. That's not really that important to me. I carry a rosary with me for that. But so it doesn't have that extra stuff. But it's a nice way to pray with Greg and Jennifer. And
I don't know I don't know, because I know, Dom, you're not a CarPlay or Android Auto guy.
I don't have CarPlay. Yeah.
I don't know if this had integration with CarPlay or something, that would be a good feature for it, but I don't. But I'm sure it once you start the audio, it's going to have integration with it, so that's okay. But I'll have to check that out.
It's like any other audio app that would work. You would work through it. Yeah, definitely. So those are the apps we're covering this time. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different a variety of apps, and some are free, some are paid. So I'm going to kind of run through my recommendations based on this. Just in certain categories. So the best paid guided experience is Hallow. It's got the deepest catalog, the breadth and polish. It's very polished. If you want a free alternative, the Amen app is the free alternative to Hallow. The best Lord of the Rings Liturgy of the Hours. LOTH. I'm a Tolkienista,
Precious. Precious.
Okay, now I'm really getting myself in trouble. The best Liturgy of the Hours experience offline will be Universalis, which is a one-time purchase, or Divine Office if you want audio. The best free, and I think overall best, is iBreviary. I think they kind of take the category there. The best for novenas is clearly Intercede, although Laudate has novenas in it. Intercede, its presentation of them is the best. The best for praying the rosary right now, as in you want to, just pray the rosary, without any, with the least amount of obstacles to getting started, is the Rosary Army one, which is audio. The best daily devotional companion is clearly the Magnificat. And the best all-around free Catholic Hub app, which has got like the Bible and Catechism and Rosary audio, is Ascension. And the best short daily audio reflection would be, of course, Pray As You Go. So that's does that reflect you guys' thoughts on this at all? Any additional reflection on that?
Yep, I would agree with those. I'm still going to say my best way of praying the Liturgy of the Hours when I'm on the go is still PlayStation Portable, even though it's not an app.
Thank you.
But I'm biased.
All right, Tom. Any further thoughts on Catholic prayer apps?
No. I know it took us a while to get through that, and I think it was very thorough.
All right, so let's move on to first to our patrons, and we'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create the Secrets of Technology, including Michael P., Aaron B., Kathy S., Miley B., and Holt. Their generous donations at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue the Secrets of Technology and all the shows at StarQuest. And you can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. So I do want to get a couple of headlines in now. I know we're going long, but these are some interesting stories that I really kind of want to talk about. The first one comes from Slate. It says, home buying, how AI slop is making house hunting even worse. It's a good headline. And so the story is kind of built around the, So someone was going to rent a house, and they were looking at the listings, and they saw this picture of a house in the listing, and they said, oh, that's a very beautiful looking house. And they went to the location, and then when they got there, it looked nothing like it. What someone had done was they'd taken an actual photo of the house and then uploaded it to AI and said, make this look pretty. And it created this fake version. It created a tree that wasn't there. It painted the house, with brand new paint. It made the grass perfect. And there's a question of, is this false advertising? Because you look at it, this place is actually a dump. It doesn't look like this. And one of the issues that comes up with this is how much is too much? Because real estate listings are kind of an idealized version of a house, right? I mean, it's like a resume. It's the best you've ever looked, on paper.
And I mean, there's always the joke of, oh, when they say cozy, we all know what that really means.
Cozy means
it's like
too small.
Too small on square footage. And yeah, I have the article up as well. And it's like where the tree is a fence.
Yeah.
And the tree is like the tree on along the sidewalk or across the street. It just doesn't look. Yeah.
Right. If you go to the article in our, we'll put the link in the show notes and then click through to the original tweet, you'll see the comparison photos of the listing versus the actual, and it is something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's depressing. I've come up with this a little bit in hotels, in my own travel that, and I don't know if they use AI or they just really good photography with photoshopping. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you get a hotel that the staged photo, looks a lot better than the actual hotel rooms are.
And you kind of expect that, right? I mean, you expect that it's never going to look as good as it is in the photo. Like just like in the ads on TV, the Big Mac always looks so much more delicious than what you get in the box. I mean, that's just the way of advertising, right? But one of the things that we've seen that happening in real estate listings is digital staging. So when a house is being sold, the present owners might have moved out, and so the rooms are empty. But people want to see what a house looks like with furniture in it, like what's it look like with a couch and stuff. And so in the past, they've had to go out and rent all this furniture and kind of set up the house like with all this, like someone's living there. But now they could do digital staging where they like digitally insert furniture. Sometimes it looks really good. Sometimes it looks really bad, like a 1985 sci-fi flick. It's just not good.
If that's all you're doing, I can see the argument for it.
Right.
But AI is sloppy and stupid.
Yes.
And it doesn't know where to stop.
It's not a representation of reality. I mean, that's the problem.
Well, I would say if they could put disclaimers of, hey, to show the inside of the house with furniture, yes, this is fake. The condition of this, the difference between the condition of this house is significant. I mean, they have a nice little bench. I mean, the brickwork looks awesome. The roof looks great. In the picture, in the real photo, you can't even see the roof condition, but the yard, just by itself, the yard itself doesn't look anywhere near what it is. And I think one of the points of the article is you could waste a huge amount of time actually driving to these places, wasting gas and time, and then suddenly arriving, and you're not even barely out of your car, and you're like, this is not the same house.
When we were house hunting more than a dozen years ago now, that was our experience. We'd go to the place that the real estate agent picked out. We'd drive up to it and go, no, not this one. Keep going. But this is worse because it's misrepresenting in the listing.
Yeah.
I've seen Airbnbs that are like this, where they polish it up to the nines in the Airbnb listing, and then you go there and you're like, oh, this is dystopian. Like, this is not good.
It reminds me of there's TikTok trends that are like what did they do? Instagram versus reality.
Right.
That it kind of reminds me of that, right?
Yeah, this is like the beauty filters on TikTok.
Yeah.
So beware, folks. Keep an eye out for this sort of thing. Maybe there should be a requirement, like starting to see that things get labeled as AI generated. Our next headline is from The Verge. It says the algorithm failed music, and it's a long piece that pretty much talks about the history of how the algorithms, especially through places like Spotify, which is now 80% of all music listening out there now worldwide. They use an algorithm to give you music that they thinks you want to hear. And for Spotify, basically it boils down to music isn't artistic expression. It's, of truth, goodness, and beauty. It's a way to keep listeners occupied. It's a time filler. It's a way to kill the silence so that you never have to sit with your own thoughts for any length of time. It's not about producing good music, or and in fact is they found that the more you use it, the more it feeds you the same music over and over. So the more music you listen to, the more your music that you get from it just starts to sound all alike, and you don't get to experience new music. What do you guys think? How do you listen to music?
I'm old. No, I'm not. I use I'm the youngest one on this podcast. I know the irony of that. My students call me old because I use Pandora. And that's my primary way of listening.
Ironic, given that they were the first algorithmic music service.
Yeah. And I find, I've had Pandora since like 2007 or whatever. So it's, I can go back generations and different playlists I've made. And so I enjoy that. But I can see where that could be problematic. I can see the difference of when I like sit down at mom's house and pull dad's old records out, right? And the difference between not just the quality of the sound and the music, but the quality of the experience that I have, that there's a connection to the music. Right. Versus just having something thrown at me that it's like the next YouTube video.
Right. Tom, do you enjoy music?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had our previous episode a few weeks ago about how to listen to digital music. So,
that's right.
like Father, I'm old. And I think I fall in the middle of this panel, but, I also started with Pandora and, always was on the free version. And for the type of music that I listened to me, it was great. I mean, it would always, a lot of times I like to listen to solo piano. So George Winston, Jim Brickman, etc. And it would do a really good job, especially if I said, hey, go do things like George Winston. And it was great. And then when Apple Music came out and I started streaming and I said, okay, play like George Winston. And I would just get awful recommendations. I mean, it was actually not the problem stated by this article, which is it gave me a lot of music I really didn't like. And it would first couple tracks would be fine. And then it would just really veer off. So the way I listen to a lot of music is, again, I'm old. I have built up this huge collection. I used to have iTunes Match and then moved into Apple Music, which incorporates all the functionality of iTunes Match. So I was one of those who gradually over the years gathered dozens, hundreds of CDs. My late father-in-law would gather certain CDs. My wife had more CDs. And so you rip them, you put them in the library. And for me, it's just one of those things of, I just come across them every couple years. It's like, oh, I haven't listened to this in 4 years. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is something I really like. So for me, discovery is, oh, there's some now posthumous tracks that George Winston's estate is releasing. Oh, wow, that's my new music.
Right.
So yeah, I'm old. I a lot of times what I listen to is what I have been listening to from the artists that I like, rather than brand new artists. Because
yeah.
My primary way of listening to music, actually, if we go back to an old recommendation, is I think it's on my Plex server, and it's called Plex Amp. And so from my Synology NAS, it's pulling all my MP3s that I have. And I'm able to listen to those anywhere in the world. Now, I had to pay for the lifetime theme for Plex, but I think that's between both of the worlds that I have some connection to the music still. Mm-hmm.
So the way I came to Apple Music with thousands of songs already. I ripped I had hundreds of CDs and I'd ripped them all. And so I came, to it with those. I find that if I left to my own devices, I listen to the same handful of playlists, and I don't like that because I have all this music. I want to listen to more of it. There are times when I just put the whole library on shuffle, and I'll get classical, I'll get chant, I'll get jazz, I'll get, you name it, and I'm getting it. But I actually, one of the things I've kind of fallen into is there's the Apple has a For You Discover channel, like a radio station, Domenico Bettinelli station, and it'll put my music from my library and intersperse it with other music that's like that. Although, like you said, it doesn't always do a great job. Sometimes this music I'm like, I don't like this, and I fast forward. But to me, it's like the radio, like the old days with the radio. Some of it you like, some of it you don't. At least now you can fast forward through it, which is better than the radio used to be. You just have to change the channel. So, but to get to the story itself, it highlights an issue which I've been talking about on this show and elsewhere, which is just the recommendation engine problem, which is all of these recommendation engines, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, they tend to show you more of what you want and punish you for curiosity. If I'm on YouTube and I'm curious about this video that just happened to see, I'm not really interested in the topic. I'm just curious about this one little thing. If I play that, that's it. I'm going to get all whatever that thing is about until I not watch any of it for a long time and I watch other things. I mean, there are times where I'm like, you know what? I don't get enough content about sailing ships on Facebook, so I intentionally seek out Facebook groups where they have stuff about sailing ships, and I'll like several of the posts, and now I'm getting sailing ship posts again. Like, it's just, you have to work at it, because the darn thing just it like I said, it punishes curiosity. And I think the music apps are the same way. If I don't go out and look for new music, if I don't try new things, then it gives me the same handful of things over and over again. But if I'm curious about something, now you want the fire hose of whatever this is. Like, you play one rap song and that's it. You're done. If you like rap, that's great. It's not my thing. But, occasionally I want to hear, one that's out there, whatever. Or God forbid one of my kids plays it on my account, with their music on my account. My daughter played this, I don't know, band from YouTube or something on my account a few times. And I cannot get it to stop playing this music. I've thumbed it down, told it not to, removed it from the thing. Nope. I'm stuck with it forever, apparently.
My pastor has his Amazon Echo hooked up to our sound system. Well, I hooked it up for him.
Yeah.
And so I may play jokes on him occasionally of playing VeggieTales songs on his account. So he'll be driving and all of a sudden he'll get some VeggieTales suggested to him. So it's good to have fun sometimes, right?
Would you like to do tomatoes? No, never mind.
Where is my hairbrush?
Where is my hairbrush? So the last bit on this one I just want to say about the music thing is Spotify is starting to venture into creating AI generated music that's basically pablum. It's AI generated music that's like all that other slop that that's out there. And because again, their competitor, as their founder said, is not other music, it's silence. They want to fill your ears. Yeah. So that's pretty deep, though, that they're seeing that. On the other hand, the AI generated music probably doesn't sound any different than any other Drake song. So,
well, I mean, Dom, I will mention that I was just reading at dinner today about, and it's out. I have a link here that I can share. It's about the AI generated country song topping Billboard's country digital song sales chart.
Oh, really?
And I started listening to it and reading the lyrics. It's called Walk My Walk by Breaking Rust, reaching over 3 million streams on Spotify in less than a month. I started listening to it and I thought, it's going to go into a chorus or something. No, it's just this on and on with rhymes. And I start reading the first few stanzas and I'm like, oh, yeah. It's just not creative. It's so reproduced of what other artists did originally. And it was
just like
good.
All the Taylor Swift wannabes out there. Like, you just hear so many young women who just they're trying to sound like Taylor Swift because that's what's popular. And it's kind of, in some ways, it's not that different from the way it used to be not that long ago, where you had label executives and sound engineers and producers and radio station program directors all working to create the most, say, summer music song, and they'll have like 5 different writers, each writing like this one specializes in bridges and this one specializes in refrains. It's just like this whole, it's not art anymore. It's just all, it's a product that they're creating to capture us. Yeah.
I'm going to put a positive spin on it here real quick.
Okay.
I've seen some accounts. I can't remember the one, but they'll take some music that, give the example. They'll take like Eminem, "Lose Yourself," right? And they'll say, if a 1950s big band wrote this song, what would it sound like? And they used AI to generate it. And I found those kind of entertaining. It still has kind of that AI flair to it, but
there's
been some entertainment in it.
There's a TikTok Instagram channel called There I Ruined It.
Oh, yes.
it's kind of awesome where this guy will mash together two completely opposite musical things and make it a song. And it can be very funny. So if you look for There I Ruined It.
It's not always PG, just a warning there.
Thank you for that. Yes. You don't want to play it around your kids. Put headphones in sometimes. All right, so those are our headlines. Let's move on to our picks of the week. Father, you're up first. What's your pick this week?
My pick of the week, keeping on the mobile app theme, is the Verbum app. And I've used this since it's been a computer program and I was in seminary. So honestly, I'm not as bad as some others, but I probably have several $1,000s or several $100s into this app. But that would have been books. And so it's a Bible app, but it also brings in commentaries, other books, all of that I'm able to tie together. Yeah. But now it's subscription, as low as $8.99 a month. And so there's some benefit there.
I want to kind of clarify for folks who may not be familiar with it. So Verbum is an app that is basically a library, but it's searchable.
Yes.
And it has all these tools for studying scripture, but, the early church fathers, other history books, atlases, all kinds of stuff, hundreds of thousands of books. And you could literally have a whole theological library, like literally a theological library in this app. It used to be that you had to buy the books individually. You bought Verbum as a base situation, and it could be hundreds or even, in some cases, $1,000 or more. And then you would have to buy books to add to it. But they've moved to a subscription model. So when you subscribe, you get access to 200 books, and then you can add books to it over time. You can still buy books to add to it, but you're paying a monthly subscription or annual, versus, having to spend all up front to get it, that sort of thing. So if you don't like subscriptions, you're probably not going to be happy with it.
This is going to be, if you're more on the academic side, this is not going to be, even at myself owning the library, I don't use this for my ordinary prayer time. This is used for my homily preparation. This is used for preparing classes I'm teaching. This is a little more in depth, and a little more ADD prone.
Yeah, just for folks, Jimmy Akin uses it extensively in his apologetics work and for the podcast scripts and that sort of stuff. It is a powerful study platform, but focused around the scripture. I mean, it comes out of Logos is the bigger name of the company, in the company. Logos is a sort of more generally focused Bible app. This Verbum is Catholic focused, so it's got a very specific Catholic focus to it. Good, excellent, good pick. We picked it once before, but it has changed a lot since that first pick. So I'm glad we could talk.
I think it was about 200 episodes again.
Yeah, it was several years ago.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, what's your pick this week?
My pick was the result of something similar to what you have, Dom, which is you hand down technology to family. And so I have family members who are usually interested in buying what was the latest and greatest at the time I bought it, down to family members. So I had an iPhone 14 Pro that my brother-in-law was interested in. And so with the upgrade to the iPhone 17 Pro, my nighttime charging stand with Lightning port and Apple Watch would no longer work. because starting with the iPhone 15, Apple switched to using USB-C, which is great after you've made that switch, but obviously it's a little painful to start swapping everything. So I trust the Wirecutter for a lot of my review, or if I can remember to check the Wirecutter before I just go splurge on something. And in this case, I did. And so what I ended up with was the Belkin MagSafe 3-in-1 wireless charging stand. And basically it provides a MagSafe charging stand for the for anything that supports MagSafe, which generally for the most part is iPhones at this point, but obviously Qi 2 includes that as a standard. It also provides charging for the Apple Watch, and it's a fast charging for the Apple Watch. So if you have the Apple Watch Series 7 or later, it supports fast charging, and I've definitely noticed a difference with that with my Series 9. And then the last part is it provides Qi charging for things like AirPods Pro 2, which I have, and also just for informational sakes, my daughter got AirPods 4 recently when she upgraded to a Mac Mini that was thrown in by the Apple Store. Not a Mac Mini, sorry, a MacBook Air. And they threw in the AirPods 4 and happened to be sitting on my nightstand. I'm like, oh, let's try it. Yep, it works great. So I've been very happy with it. It was discounted where I bought it and at Best Buy. And when I looked on Amazon, it was out of stock. It was still available at the non-sale price at Best Buy, but it's worked really, really well. You can orient your phone any way you want. So if you like that nighttime or that display mode on the iPhones when it's in landscape mode, it'll easily do that, and it seems to hold really well.
So just a point of information that when you go to Amazon, you can look at first generation, second generation, and latest generation or third generation. So different up. Just the first generation that's out of stock now, which you probably don't want anyway because it's outdated. Right. The main difference between the Gen 2 and the third generation are the it's a 36 watt versus 40 watt charger, wall charger. Okay.
So it does come with the wall. It did come with the wall charger.
Yes.
Okay, because that's very important when you have a device that's charging that many devices, that you have the correct amount of wattage. And I've seen a lot of people make mistakes of not pulling that good amount of wattage to charge all those devices together.
The other difference between the second and third generation is that in the third generation, the wall charger is integrated. It's a wire is integrated into the plug. It's part of it. Whereas in the second generation, it's a separate where you can you plug a USB-C into it, that sort of thing. So it's a separate wall wart, I guess is how to put it. I'm not sure if there's a benefit to one way or the other, but there's a $20 price difference.
I'd say the benefit's the replacement of cords.
Yeah, right. You can replace the cord in the second gen even. So if that extra 4 watts makes a difference for you, that's an extra $20. So I'd kind of go for the second gen while it's still available for me. Yeah, that's good. A good pick. I like it. So my pick this week is a little more general. Steam, which is the game library. It's sort of like the Netflix for games, or not really, because you buy the games from them. They've added Steam families. So now what you can do is you can set up a Steam family and different users. Add, like, say you're the parent, and you can add your kids to your Steam family, and they can use the games that you've purchased on their account, and it's separate stats, separate things. Now, only one person can use the game at a time. That's important. If I'm playing No Man's Sky and my son wants to play No Man's Sky, he can't until I'm done. So it's someone's taking it out of your family library and using it. But at least they can play the games on their account. So you can share games among family members. So sometimes, like, your kid may want to buy their own games or be given games for Christmas or something that's in their account, and that's their game in their account. But they also want to play the games that you've bought for yourself, that sort of thing. So there are various parental controls to control access. You can look at stats for playtime, all the various parental things out there. Your kids can request you to purchase a game, so that and you have to approve the purchase and that sort of thing.
Good. That's nice.
Just like you have an iOS or Android, it's the same sort of thing. So kudos to Steam for doing it. It's been so long I forgot what the limit is. 6 family members. So
that's a little better.
Yeah,
a little better. We're getting there.
Yeah, at least for this one, I don't need 7 family members. My wife isn't going to have a Steam account, so 6 is fine for my family. But Tim Cook, can I just get one more in the Apple family plan? Just one. It would make my life so much easier. I'd pay extra for it. That's my weekly rant on that.
Maybe Elon can argue for you. No. Sorry.
I'm not sure Elon's in good stead with the Apple. But anyway, so those are our picks of the week, and let's move on to the end of the show. We would love to know what any of you listeners think of any part of our discussion, or if you have any questions, you can let us know by commenting on the show at sqpn.com/technology, the StarQuest Facebook page, facebook.com/StarQuestMedia. Send an email to technology@sqpn.com. Visit the StarQuest Discord community at sqpn.com/Discord. You can find links from our discussion and our picks of the week on our show notes at starquest.fm/TEC322. Be sure to follow The Secrets of Tech in Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, TuneIn, your favorite podcast app, or on YouTube, where you should subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. And until next time, Tom Grellinger, thank you for joining me and sharing the secrets of technology.
Thanks, Tom.
Father Josephson, thank you as well.
Until next time.
And once again, I'm Dom Bettinelli. Thank you for listening to the Secrets of Technology on StarQuest. Here's another show on the StarQuest network you're sure to enjoy. Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World. Find the show wherever fine podcasts are found or at sqpn.com/mysterious.